Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Streaming, guys. All right. Agency Mastermind podcast number 1. Trev, what you got?
Right. So I thought I'd lead out. We're talking about so agency growth. I know last time we talked, actually, Talal was running counter to this, but the start of this year for me was awful.
Yeah.
Actually, the end of last year was awful too. As a result of basically in the middle of the week, last week, I went from projected revenue for March of 40K to projected revenue in March of 8K. And that's because 2 existing customers both went, no, we'll actually launch next month. And then 2 leads that were like, handshake deal, I know the guy, he's super excited, let's go, both went, no. And so I just 32K evaporated in my funnel. And since October of last year, Crowd Tamers has lost $80,000.
Nice.
So I was looking at like, I told my team, like, I cannot have another month where I lose 20K. And so I put the whole team on hourly, where they're only doing work right now.
The
for
system you
clients
were
who are
hating
paying.
me on. Is that
I hate it.
Is that payback time for me? John,
Maybe.
you remember
But
that, right? When Trevor
I
was
told
hating
them-
on me for the hourly thing.
I still hate it. I told them, look, this is not by choice. I actually said, if you want to go, because you're like, I can't work 8 hours in a month and then like live on that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I understand. I will write you the best letter of recommendation I can. This is my fuck up. This is not yours. This should be rated G for all audiences. This is my screw up, not yours.
Yeah, and good luck finding a job. Also, I'll mention that the job market is terrible right now.
It's a little weird.
But yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to hire right now. I've noticed that
which
as well.
is opportunity for us. By the way, short parenthesis on that. I've been doing a lot of commission people hiring. So, you know, the logic, and I've created a campaign yesterday. It's called the Apprenticeship. And it's like, hey, John, usually people pay me to coach them, to teach them GTM/cold outreach. But I have this apprenticeship program. I teach you everything I know. You also get paid from what you bring back home. Is that interesting to you? I've already got a couple of meetings for that, and I think I'll build a fully commission account exec team of at least 5 to 10 humans this year. But yeah, parenthesis closed.
Okay, that's interesting. So anyway, since that was 2 Fridays ago, I just closed yesterday 2 deals, so I've gotten back 10 of the 32 that dropped away. That's still quite in the hole. But it is the market was bad, and I kept thinking I'm just like 2 weeks away from turning it around, and then that just kind of shot me like right here in the neck, and I'm like, okay, I've got to, because 80K is not an insubstantial amount to slowly dribble away month by month over 7 months, and I know Charles mentioned he's had some rough time of it. Talal, you mentioned you hadn't been having a rough time of it, however.
To be honest, this month was not good as expected. Last month, I told you I was really happy with it. This month went down. Clients also left. One client left without even paying.
Is it SVB related, Talal, or they just not SVB related?
What do you mean?
Silicon Valley Bank crash. Like I've had, I work with mostly agency founders, and I talked to one of my Amazon ad client yesterday, and he lost like 2 or 3 clients that were banking with SVB, which is really fucking painful.
Yeah,
SVB, Signature Bank, Credit Suisse, they're all just like
slowly reaching my prediction of at least $1 billion bank failing this year.
Not slowly, it's happening fast.
Yeah,
it's March.
It's March, dude.
But yo, like talking about slow and fast, like nowadays, and I'll just let you finish your point. But yes, quick parenthesis: business is accelerating drastically. You know, businesses are being built in 2 days now with like connecting an open chat API, and to me, this is fascinating because I've always been about speed and. Yeah, like me, I'm really, really, really fucking happy to opening my computer nowadays. It's really fun and entertaining. But yeah, parenthesis closed to Lal. Mike is yours.
So no, it's not related to the banks or anything. One client was saying that it's not our season now. We want to stop. We'll get back to you. Another client, the client that left, which I think was really weird because he didn't really count, or he didn't basically had his financials basically calculated correctly. He realized that he didn't have enough money to continue, which we were doing really great with his brand. We were selling really well. I think the first month that we did with him was one of the best months we did with any other client. I just didn't have the money to continue. I was like, look, man, he lives in an island. He's like, there's taxes I have to pay. Maybe I'm gonna lose my home. I cannot continue anymore. Bye. And I had a commission-based, I had a retainer plus a commission-based deal with him. And my profit comes from the commission-based. And basically, like, okay, it's no problem if you can just pay me the commission, and because I need to pay the team. He's like, yeah, for sure. He just disappeared, which is, yeah,
that's distress to me. Like when someone says they're gonna lose their house and they start talking about personal shit in business, that's like crossing a line. That's like, okay, yeah, he's in deep shit and I probably won't see my money.
Yeah, and I understand that. Yeah, but what can you do? You know, I have a contract with him and everything, but like,
I mean, you can sue him and go down that route, but it's just a nightmare.
It's not worth it.
To be honest, it depends how much it is. If it was like 20 grand, maybe, but you know,
no,
if it's some small amount, it's just
1,500.
Yeah.
That's it.
If it's less
not
than
nice,
six
but you're not getting
figures,
it.
once you're dealing with across a border, because Talal here is in Brussels, if it's less than six figures, walk away. I wrote off about $35,000 in bad contracts last year, which sounded like a lot, but I did 600K, right? So it's like 5-ish%. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm not going to fight you over it because it's not worth pursuing you. I even had one guy, we had a contract for a series of experiments. I ran one. He didn't immediately get the results he wanted, didn't pay. I pursued him a bunch of times. Then I'm like, okay, my lawyer's going to contact you. He's like, no, I'm suing you. You didn't hit the results you promised. And I'm like, read the contract. There's no results promised. And there were supposed to be 3 more experiments before we even tried to hit numbers you might like. So, like, whatever. There's idiots.
I don't believe in suing, though. Like, I really don't agree with that system. First, I think, like, that AI is going to replace most of it. Thank God. I always talked shit about lawyer. I was about to be a lawyer, by the way. That was, like, my early plan. And thank God I didn't end up in that. But I think, it's the law serves where idiots like that step out of line. It's useful in that case, but this most of us on a daily basis.
You're muted, Charles.
Yeah, you muted yourself.
Very funny. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know why it's auto muted, but yeah. Then I was saying that then there's the Hollywood and New York executive type that use the law system for their own benefit and build an empire out of it. Mr. Trump being an example, and yeah, that bullshit. So
You muted again, Charles.
apology. I don't know why it auto mute. I think I'm gonna stop talking, but I think we could turn the table towards one specific topic, guys, and you can suggest any topic you want at any point. But how have you been using GPT to write copy for your own business? Because a month ago I was like, okay, yeah, GPT is crap. I write way better copy. But then GPT-4 appeared, and I discovered that once you give it the right prompts and you give it the right indications, it can write really kick-ass scripts, even better than, let's say, 80 to 90% of copywriters out there. So how have you been using GPT to grow your business?
I can start if you want. So what I did with what I'm utilizing now, ChatGPT, is basically a kind of a process for my copywriters and strategists to use when onboarding a new client. So when onboarding a new client for Facebook ads mainly, we have the research phase, the first phase, which takes us a lot of time, basically 3 to 4 days. Basically researching the target market, angles we want to write about, and basically headline and stuff. this is all a process that I built now with ChatGPT, that I hope that it reduces the time for us to do that and the effort for my team. Plus, basically adding to that, which is how do we do copy and how we can actually design using Midjourney if we want to create different designs and more like cooler or like some ideas. So I built a process with Notion, which just shared it with the team. This is the prompts you can use, blah, blah, blah. If we have a new client, and didn't test it yet because it was built like 3 weeks ago. I didn't have a client, Facebook ads client new to start with. But this is one process I built with ChatGPT that I use for my clients, but not for us.
How about you, Johnny?
We basically have no copywriting anywhere in the entire business, so we're not using it for anything, to be honest. I might use it for some stuff on our side because we might run some Facebook ads and do some creative through there and things like that. But that's for us to bring in leads, not the other way around. So we don't have any use for ChatGPT actually.
You can use it with Amazon listing, no? Like writing.
You can, but we don't do listings. Actually, well, that's a whole different topic. But the current agency is just ads. I'm doing one actually with a client of mine. We're doing a new company, which is full service. So we might use it for that. But to be honest, we're only going to do like 3 listings a month, and we have a copywriter who's like $100, and she's amazing. So I don't see us needing it for that. So we're not.
What about on the
jumping
sales side of
AI.
things and possibly using it for the trends? Because I think, Trev, you might correct me on that, but GPT-4 takes data from real time, or even in this year, it's not like limited to 2021 data. Is that correct?
Bing Chat pulls from right now. Like I'm using Bing Chat actually relatively frequently now for a couple different things. One of them is like we have this video here. We're going to post it. I can then open up in Edge because Microsoft is making us use Edge for this. Go to a video in Bing Chat and ask it to give me the summary. And it will give a very nicely structured summary, which then makes a pretty good LinkedIn post or Twitter thread after we've made a video. So that kind of thing also speeds up when you're doing not recreational videos, but an educational video. Rather than watch the video, tell Bing Chat, which is ChatGPT 4, but connected to the internet, tell Bing Chat to go tell me what it's about, read the summary in 30 seconds, and then be like, did I want to watch that? Probably not. Skip right past it.
Well,
So like
I tried to upload a video on my drive, paste the link to ChatGPT, and tell ChatGPT to give me a summary if I'm doing.
Yeah, ChatGPT won't do it. Bing Chat will.
Because it's even if it's a long video, like a 1-hour video, they can really go through.
So summary.legal, which is one of my little and chat and class notes and meeting notes and the Minutes Master, all these things. Yeah, that's right. I'm pimping my stuff. All of these are powered by GPT-3, and we'll soon upgrade to GPT-4. And the limitation we have, we've actually talked about it on my stream with Tom last week. The limitations we have is the service we're using to create the transcripts can only take a 1.4 gigabyte file. And so now we're using Handbrake to rip the audio out of the video to then generate the transcripts. And then we can feed in arbitrary length because of how we're chunking it up. Feed in arbitrary length. I mean, I think we tested with a 6-hour video, and like it works when you chunk it up properly. It does take, like, we have back-end magic happening to make
Trev is lagging out.
process them some.
Trev,
I'm lagging out.
your shed is lagging. You need how's it called? Starlink. Have you guys heard of Starlink? It's pretty dope.
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
look
I'll
at it when
use
we were
it.
in Bulgaria because the internet was so bad in certain places. And apparently it's really good, but it works better when you're out in the country than when you're in the city because there's less disruption and something like that. I can't remember the exact details, but
You
I think it
clear
works
line
at
of
the
sight.
top of a mountain. It's perfect. Yeah, exactly.
Like Elon Musk is just like, it's too much, you know? Twitter, Tesla, OpenAI, Starlink. I mean, this, I was reading an article yesterday that this guy, I mean, if I would be like Biden or the government, I'd kind of fear him. You know, he's kind of an unpredictable clown. But yeah, this guy's super powerful. I have a question for you guys that I gave you my sentiment about this year. You know, like the economy has been not so good, but AI has been moving so quick that it makes me very exciting to be part of this. Do you guys have the same sentiment nowadays, or do you feel like the market is shit? Because yesterday I was looking at Twitter and it's all doom and gloom. It's like, oh shit, the market is going down, invest in Bitcoin. And, you know, a lot of people fear, but I feel these people are not like in touch with the AI revolution that's happening. So what's been your sentiment lately? Are you like excited to be part of this, or is it more negative?
You're following the wrong people on Twitter, dude. Everybody I'm following is like, let's go, YOLO, let's build.
I'll follow your followers.
To be honest, I haven't seen a lot of negative trends. Like most of our clients doing quite well. I think the people who have good products and offer good things are still doing quite nicely. It's all the crappy ones who are trying to make a quick buck that kind of fell off the wagon. Like most of our bigger guys are up massively year over year. Like one of our big ones, he's up 200% year over year, and he was already doing well last year. It's not like it was bad. So I don't see it as like a massive problem. And you know, we're on Amazon, so we would probably see it. I don't know if we'd see it faster or not, but it's discretionary spending at its finest, isn't it? So we'd probably see that happen.
What you're seeing
I think the
also
big guys
is
still doing well.
a lot of the players who are marginal are backing out of the ad market on Amazon, which means your clicks are getting cheaper, so your performance will do better for the folks who have the pockets.
Yeah, exactly. And from a client perspective, like we had our best 10 days ever. So I signed 15 people in 10 days a couple of weeks back, which was insane. Yeah, it was literally ridiculous. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy month because of that. And I think a lot of guys are switching agencies. Like a lot of people are switching agencies. So I think if you offer a good service, most people are staying. I mean, obviously, don't get me wrong. Like we've had people leave because of things happening, and someone got hacked, and all sorts of things happen on their account. Like things are going to happen, but in general, I think most of the guys are sort of ditching poor services, and they're really looking at who they're spending on. Like I did this the other day. I was looking at all our softwares and like, who do we actually need? Because I noticed we're spending like $1,000 a month on random softwares, like, you know, CRMs and all this other stuff. And it adds up. And I think you look at it, and guys have been working with an agency for the past 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is, look at it and go, are these guys actually doing anything at all? And are switching quite rapidly. So I think there's a lot of opportunity actually for our side. And
quick question for you, John. 10 clients or 15, however you mentioned, at 2 or 3K a pop, like that's around 30 to 50 grand. How are you going to invest that money?
So we're bringing new staff. That's the first thing. I actually have to fire a staff member anyway, because we've had them a while, and they're just not getting better. It's been a year and a half of me trying to get them working, and they just won't do it. And there's an attitude problem. So I'm like, they're not
using GPT enough.
Yeah, exactly. But we're just going to bring more staff, and one thing I'm going to do is invest way more heavily in the marketing side of things, because honestly, we've pretty much been reliant on Fiverr forever. I know I told you guys it's Fiverr, SEO, and some LinkedIn stuff, and it's all been coming through there, and that's where all the clients have come from. Like, I'm just going to pummel money into advertising if Facebook will let me spend it, because they banned the Facebook account as soon as I launched ad last time. They just went straight out. So I will try and spend on that quite heavily, because I think if we get another funnel running, I swear we'll double our revenue within 6 months, no problem.
Yeah,
it's definitely viable.
I know, even on my agency, right? If I get the money to spend on Facebook ads, it will return. I just am for money right now. So
Jonny,
that's rough, your situation.
What about Upwork? You're not using Upwork as a funnel?
Fucking hate Upwork.
Jonny.
The clients in Upwork.
I tried it. The difference is, the clients are shit. And the other thing is, and this is inbound versus outbound in general. Like when you go inbound, if people come to you and want to work with you, it's an easy close. You can be very demanding. Like some of the things you demand on calls, people are like, oh yeah, I'll do it, because they remember they want to work with you. As Upwork, it sounds like a shitty thing to say, but you kind of give them the power, because they got like 50, 60 plus people to work with, and they're just like, make it cheaper, do this, do that. And I found that if we weren't applying immediately, like within the first 5 minutes, you just don't get any answers. It's kind of expensive in the end. Like, you know, Tim in the group, I think he said he's spending $600 or $1,000 a month on proposals, something crazy like that. So you could just spend that on ads and probably get a better return. So in my opinion, outbound wise, I'd rather do other things because Upwork's it's littered with low end stuff. Like you get a lot of, Asian freelancers and things like that putting in there $10 an hour, $5 an hour, whatever it is. You come in with 75, 100, whatever you're putting on your rate on there. I just don't think people want it. And you might get one or two, but for the workload, I'd rather do something else.
Yeah, I agree. Back last time I tried Upwork when I was doing fractional CMO work, right? And I've got a resume that means any startup looking for marketing help should be willing to pay more than 20 an hour. And they were all like, no, we want you to do everything for us. It should only take you 2 hours a day to run all the marketing for our, Series B startup. And I'm like, how about you fuck off into space?
Yeah.
So yesterday I got an email saying our budget is $100 a month.
Yes.
Yeah, I get a bunch of those on Amazon. It's like, what can you do with $10 a day? I'm like, nothing. Like we can't do it. The fee to manage is going to be like multiple times your entire ad budget. Like, please manage it yourself. This is not going to work.
You
Like,
should reply, does that include inflation?
Yeah.
What are
Make it 12.
Yeah.
What are your average fees, Jonny?
Well, we're on revenue percentage with everyone. Actually, I upped our fees by 20%, and everyone's accepted it. And I put them on twice as long contracts, and everyone accepted it again. Like, I was really concerned about doing that, and everyone's like, "Yep, sounds good. Let's go."
Nice.
So everyone's going for that. But I think our average client is like, I'd have to check the numbers, but it's probably like 1,800 a month right now. There are some small ones at 1,000. We've got some bigger ones as well. I think our biggest one now is like 6K, 8K, something around there. But we don't have that many of those. I'd say the majority around the 2K range.
Okay.
Guys, we're on time for this pod. Do you want to continue it? Because I have a semi-hard stop. So maybe we should keep it an episode for that one. How was the rating of that one? Do you guys think it was good? Do you think it was audience worthy?
We had no structure of any kind going into this. If we
As
wish to make
usual.
this a podcast, we should. Well, we did. The last time you and I chatted, we actually had a structure. And I think it benefits from it. So we should probably, if we're going to stream these, come at least with 1 or 2 topics that are contentious enough where we can have ourselves a nice little fight about it.
Yeah, so there's a Google Docs attached to this Google Cal invite. I also suggest if we're too lazy sometimes, or if we don't have time, which is acceptable or somewhat acceptable, we could pop the topics in the conversation. So like either in the best way would be a question popped in the chat. And remember that GPT can pop like 10 somewhat interesting questions in 3.3 seconds. So yeah, we should select those and jump to the ones that is the hottest.
Yeah. All right.
Also, I think that even having a random conversation would be cool. And then when you name the podcast, you can call it like talking about AI, clients acquisition, clients value, blah, blah. Like as we speak, after the podcast, you put what did we speak about and make it random. Like
or just make short bits out of it, because we spent like 15-20 minutes talking about AI and like 15 minutes for client. Just like split it up and depending on what we're talking about, and then you just do 3 episodes rather than just one random one where we're talking about different things.
Yeah, news covering is always a good option that we will get more views, and I mean it's important, and we've talked about being fast moving, so yeah, it's super important. Another quick suggestion is that maybe you guys could accept your own bots in that convo and record it on your side so that you're not depending on my YouTube, for example, and so forth, so that we could all have our videos and all self-publish without asking one another about MP4s and all that. What do you think?
We can. I'm not sure how it will look on the recording to have Meat Geek and Fireflies and Otter all sitting in here with us, though. I suspect the solution here for
your arms around the AIs.
Exactly. I think you might want to. This is obviously the Google Meet recording is saved to Drive. Just share the Drive file with us.
It's on my YouTube, so it will be published. It's like streaming on my YouTube as a live. I've published it on my LinkedIn as well. And think about that one. Accept at least one of your bot in your army of bots next time, Trev.
Okay.
The guy has like 5 bots. I joined meetings with like 5 bots joining. Anyway, it was nice talking to you guys, and let's make this again next month.
All righty. See you, dude. Bye.
Cheers.